Now at 9, Art Forms in Pittsburgh invites locals to show off their creativity with the ceramic Christmas trees. Plus, Webb City's inaugural Christmas tree brightens up the 4 states. And law enforcement in Oklahoma is encouraging residents to keep an eye out while holiday shopping.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Residents of Pineville, Missouri spent Sunday Fun Day showing off their bowling skills at Pineville Bowl. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy. The bowling alley today hosted a family bowling special, including 2 hours of bowling, a single topping pizza, soda, and shoe rentals for the whole day. Attendees say it's a great way to have some fun for the whole family.
This was something my family and I used to do years ago when I was a kid. And the bowling alley in town, we always spent Sunday there. Always had a little bit of pizza, and it was just a chance for our family to interact.
The event began at noon and wrapped up around 7:30 this evening. Webb City's annual leaf pickup takes place tomorrow, the 27th. And if you plan on taking part in the citywide event, the Webb City Area Chamber of Commerce says to start raking and piling your leaves at the curbside. They also say don't put leaves in the streets or gutters, don't mix branches with the leaves, and don't permit children to play in curbside leaves as they could be injured by oncoming traffic. Meteorologist Katie Frazier joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, happy Sunday, everyone. We did have a bunch of weather changes impacting us overnight last night. Now, I expect things to calm down overnight tonight. Those winds will be dying down. They've been a bit breezy all day today. Tomorrow will still be a chilly day, but we will be warming up a little bit every single day. We'll also have your next chance of rain in this week's forecast. More details in a moment here. Did get at least one viewer photo of someone who got a little bit of a dusting of snow overnight last night. I know many of you folks did as well. And of course, we always love to see your weather photos. So if you want to go ahead and shoot me one of your photos, I have a weather Facebook and Twitter that you could reach out to me on. But right now we are dry across the 4 states area. Just a couple clouds blowing out to our east. Here's what you could expect if you are going to be heading out anytime soon, or at least if you're winding down for the rest of the night. Temperatures will be in the low 30s, upper 20s, but with the winds feeling a little bit colder than that. I'll give you an idea of what you could expect for the start of your work week coming up in just a few minutes here.
All right, thanks, Katie. The Art Form Gallery hosted a ceramic Christmas tree making class. The event is a part of a series of art classes that they host. Each class is taught by a different artist that represents various mediums of art. This week, artist Daria Claiborne taught the class on pottery and clay.
Christmas trees, they're fun to do. They all turn out differently, obviously. It is the season, and people like to decorate with what they've made.
Today's event was $50 per person, and all materials were provided. With Thanksgiving officially in the rearview mirror, many people are preparing for Christmas. For many, this means buying presents, hanging lights, and most importantly, getting a tree. The weekend after Thanksgiving is a time that Christmas tree farm owners wait for all year. Hundreds of people across Northeast Arkansas pay visit to the Jonesboro tree plantation for family fun and cherished memories.
But I really thought something like this would be fun. Christmas tree farms, pumpkin patches, those things are neat experiences for kids and families, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Many people see Black Friday as the beginning of the Christmas season, which kicks off the busy season for Christmas trees. Webb City held its inaugural Christmas lighting last night at King Jack Park. Officials say the display last year featured 300,000 lights, and this year it features more than 1 million. The park last night also began rides on the Polar Bear Express. King Jack Park is open every night, but train rides are sold out for this season. And Christmas is right around the corner, and KOAM is always looking to brighten the holiday for kids in the 4 states. We invite you to join us for KOAM Toy Box, one of the area's largest toy drives to benefit underprivileged children in our local area. Our first Toy Box Tuesday telethon is this week during KOAM News at noon, 5, 6, and 9. Volunteers will be standing by the phones during that time to take your pledges. Thank you all for your ongoing support. The holidays is this season of giving, but the IRS is warning about some charity holiday scams. The IRS suggests doing your research before donating to a cause. Sites like Charity Navigator and Charity Watch can help you get more information on the organizations you might be considering helping. The holidays are the busiest days of the year, a season filled with family dinners and gatherings and filled with presents. But getting gifts for all of your loved ones during this season can be dangerous. That's why Fox's Alex Cash takes a look at what Tulsa, Oklahoma police say you can do to protect yourself and others when shopping.
Casey Roebuck from the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office says at the holidays, amongst the cars and customers can also be criminals.
Just be aware, do common sense things to make sure that you're not a perfect target for a burglar or robber.
She says security is being stepped up around Woodland Hills Mall. These TCSO towers are outside. She says off-duty deputies are patrolling inside and Tulsa police are circling the parking lots.
When law enforcement is visual, the potential burglars or robbers are going to want to take their business elsewhere where there's not a chance of them getting caught.
From keeping your eye on your purse to making sure you're not leaving things on display in your car. Tulsa County Sheriff's Office has given us some tips on how to stay safe while shopping.
Number 1, pay attention to what's going on around you.
If you have your phone in your face and you're walking in a crowded area, you're just a perfect target for a would-be criminal.
Number 2, don't leave items on display in your vehicle.
Don't leave packages, don't leave your wallet, don't leave your cell phone, don't leave your purses, because if they see it through the window's going to get broken. Your items are going to be gone.
Number 3, watch your bags.
In the half a second you have your head turned, your purse is gone. Your keys, your wallet, your cell phone, everything has been taken.
And number 4, have a plan with your kids.
Make sure, first of all, if they're younger children, they're supervised. And if they're a little older, that you guys have a meeting point at a certain time and they have their phones with them.
And if you're doing your shopping online, TCSO are warning to watch out for scammers there too.
The Better Business Bureau says, amongst other things, make sure you shop with a legitimate website, protect your personal information, watch out for phishing emails, and shop with a credit card.
Later, how to keep your household safe from the cold and flu. The bird flu is said to still be causing harm across the U.S. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says 1.35 million chickens are being slaughtered on one Ohio egg farm as the aviation illness takes its toll on the industry. Officials say bird flu doesn't represent a significant health threat, with cases of human infection from the disease being seen as extremely rare. With the cold and flu season now upon us, doctors have advice on ways to keep illnesses from spreading through your household. They say try to separate family members who are sick from the rest of the family and be sure to wear high-grade face masks around anyone who is ill. Medical experts warn the flu has a 25% attack rate. Doctors say be sure to help keep homes well ventilated and avoid sharing food or drinks with infected people. And frequent hand washing is also a good idea. A respiratory illness rise in China. The WHO is advising people there to do what they can to reduce the spread of infectious disease, including staying home when they're sick, wearing a mask when it is appropriate, and using good hand hygiene. The WHO is not recommending that travelers change their plans or take any precautions when visiting China, other than to avoid travel if they're sick. Ivan Watson reports.
Long lines of patients at crowded Chinese hospitals. A warning from the World Health Organization about an upsurge of respiratory illnesses among children in northern China. And administrators from several pediatric hospitals in and around the Chinese capital saying the spike in patients exceeded their capacity. Should people be worried?
I don't think they should be too worried because we have to look at a number of factors. So the first is that it's winter and it's cold And wherever you have this, you're going to be getting an increase in respiratory infections.
The WHO says, according to Chinese government data, there's been an increase of RSV, adenovirus, and influenza since October, and an uptick of mycoplasma pneumonia since May, but not a novel pathogen like COVID-19. Chinese health officials reported the increases to the WHO, but are downplaying the severity of this strain of pneumonia, which the WHO says can be treated with antibiotics.
So far, there is just zero evidence that there is a new virus being circulating in Beijing or elsewhere.
The global COVID-19 pandemic first appeared to originate in the Chinese city of Wuhan in late 2019. Critics accused the Chinese government at the time of not being transparent about what later became a global health crisis. Long after the rest of the world moved on from social distancing, Beijing maintained strict COVID restrictions. Epidemiologists say the surge in illness now is China playing catch-up to other countries.
What we are seeing is what's actually been seen in many other countries before, is that after COVID, is that when kids get together, there will be an increase in respiratory viruses.
But the increase is putting real pressure on some Chinese hospitals, where doctors say patients have to wait hours to get an appointment.
Every night we have doctors from different departments working overtime, and each doctor will take at least 30 online consultation sessions per night.
Due to China's relatively underdeveloped primary care system, hospital emergency rooms often serve as the first point of contact for patients with even mild illness. So during flu season in China, scenes like this aren't unusual. Even when they're sick and receiving an IV drip, children are expected to do their homework. Health officials are urging parents not to rush their kids to children's hospitals in China's first winter since COVID.
Meteorologist Katie Frazier is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, they say money can't buy happiness, but a new survey suggests otherwise. We'll take a look.
Happy Sunday, everyone. It's sure been a chilly holiday weekend. I hope you've all enjoyed it with your friends and family. We are a whole lot colder than what we were this time yesterday, anywhere from 5, even 15 degrees colder than we were this time yesterday across the 4-state area. Unfortunately, the cold isn't going anywhere as well. Here's a look at our downtown Joplin Cornell camera, and it is not too bad. I've seen a couple folks out and about, likely heading home as it is a work night. So what can you expect for your day tomorrow? Well, the winds, they should be backing off. They were a little bit breezy earlier on today. We saw max gusts up to about 25 miles per hour for a couple of our cities across the region. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, they should be a whole lot lower by 6 o'clock. But then we'll have a day with breezy winds once again throughout your Monday, looking at gusts up to 10, 15 miles per hour. I do expect the wind chills to be a little bit lower, or warmer rather, than what they were today, which is good news. But certainly winds do make it feel a whole lot colder when we have these cold temperatures. Here's what you could expect as far as our future track rain model, and not much. We're actually looking at dry conditions for the next several days. This is tomorrow, 7 a.m., and you can see temperatures will be chilly in the 20s for most of the region. That will continue, though. We will warm up, of course, during the day tomorrow. By the afternoon, we should have temperatures actually in the 40s, but due to the winds, it'll feel a little bit colder than that. Then Monday night into Tuesday morning, we'll have some clouds move in across the region. Temperatures dropping back down to the 20s for your Monday morning. You might be thinking, I need to decorate my outside of the house, the inside of the house. Christmas is coming. Hanukkah is coming. Tomorrow, I would say don't decorate. It is going to be quite chilly out there. Highs will be in the mid-40s. However, it'll feel like the upper 30s tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday, though, might be better days to decorate across the 4-state area. It will be a little bit warmer. Highs will feel like the low 50s, or they'll actually be in the low 50s, but it will feel like the mid-40s out there. Tomorrow looks like this with those temperatures going up into the mid-40s, so not too bad, but with the winds mixed in, it feels definitely a lot colder. colder out there. So here's what you could expect over the next several days. Much drier for your Monday through Wednesday, but then things will change for Thursday and Friday. Even into this weekend, we're going to reintroduce your next chance of rain. 40% chance of rain for your Thursday, 20 for Friday, or for Friday and Saturday. And as you could see by looking far in advance, temperatures will return to above average, back to the 60s. So definitely bundle up out there, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up, 13 more hostages freed in Israel.
A third round of hostages held by Hamas is now free, including a young American dual citizen. In Jerusalem, I'm Alex Hogan. I'll have more on this story coming up.
Been told money can't buy happiness, but a lot of people say they don't believe that. A survey by Empower, a financial services company, has found 6 out of every 10 Americans surveyed say money can buy happiness, and they even have an estimate of how much it would cost. When they were asked how much money it would take to be happy, Americans said it would take a net worth of about $1.2 million on average. However, millennials say they would need more, a net worth of about $1.7 million to be happy. Well, 'tis this season for snuggling up with some cocoa and your favorite holiday movies. And this year, you may be even able to get paid for it. CableTV.com wants a chief of cheer to watch 25 holiday movies in 25 days. The company will pay its new hire $2,500 and a one-year membership to several streaming services. The company says its tradition is usually watching holiday movies on an old VHS tapes, but you can get the job done through streaming too, like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and more. You can apply for the position at CableTV.com, but you might want to act fast. The entry deadline is end of the day, December 1st. Up next, it might be time to change your password. We'll take a look at the most common passwords that might make you susceptible to hackers. Coming up with, and remembering computer passwords may be inconvenient, but certainly well worth the effort. Experts say unusual passwords help foil computer hackers trying to break into your accounts. A study done by NordPass, the password management tool, says some of the most common passwords can be hacked in a second, so avoid them at all cost. NordPass says the most common password for the last 5 years is, get this, 123456. Admin is the second most popular, and both take about a second for hackers to crack. Password is the 15th most common password and takes just a second for hackers to break. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Gen Z is saying they might not be able to make it home for the holidays. We'll take a look at why. Coming up. 13 Israeli hostages are now back in Israel. They were released by Hamas after being abducted and held prisoner in Gaza for 50 days. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has more details.
Critically needed aid is going in and hostages are coming out.
President Biden delivering good news that the third group of hostages is being released and delivered to freedom, including 4-year-old Abigail Idan, an American dual citizen abducted by Hamas. The young girl spending her birthday in captivity after losing both parents during a kibbutz attack on October 7th.
She's free and she's in Israel now. And so those who are now wrapping Abigail in love and care and the supportive services she needs, she's been through a terrible trauma.
16 more hostages, including Israelis and foreign nationals, some women and children, were handed over by Hamas overnight. 9-year-old Emily Hand, also among those released on Saturday, embracing her father in an Israeli hospital. The family initially fearful the reunion might not happen when Hamas announced a delay in the day's exchange, providing a list of complaints, including that not enough aid was getting into northern Gaza. The U.S. helped broker the deal that led to the release of hostages in groups starting on Friday. In return, a pause in fighting. Israel, in exchange, is releasing Palestinian prisoners. It's been days of emotional reunions for families in the West Bank, too. But the Israeli government has demanded police break up celebrations over their release.
Our feeling of joy is clouded by sadness because of the massacre committed by the Israeli occupation against our people in Gaza.
Tomorrow will be the fourth day of the ceasefire, with more hostages expected to be released, with mediators working to extend this day by day. In Jerusalem, Israel, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Members of 3 generations of the same Israeli family who had been held captive in the Gaza Strip were reunited with relatives late Saturday. Hamas militants freed the captives under a ceasefire deal with Israel. 67-year-old Shoshon Herman, her daughter, 38-year-old Adi Shoman, and grandchildren, 8-year-old Nave and 3-year-old Yael, were among the 13 Israeli hostages released. They were taken to Sheba Medical Center near Tel Aviv, where other family members joined them. The children's father, Tal Shoman, is believed to still be in captivity in the Gaza Strip. Today, Palestinian families were reunited with their loved ones who were released from prisons in Israel. The release was part of an agreement between Israel and Hamas to free hostages. The 39 Palestinian prisoners who were set free today on Sunday were teenagers and young men ages 15 through 19. Most of them had been accused of public disorder, property damage, and in some cases, causing or threatening physical harm to Israeli officers by throwing stones and Molotov cocktails. Police say the 3 Palestinian Americans college students were shot while on their way to a family dinner Saturday night. The Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee confirms 2 of the victims are in the ICU and 1 has very critical injuries. The organization is demanding authorities investigate the shooting as a hate crime, since the 3 were wearing kafiyehs, which are traditional Palestinian scarves, and speaking Arabic at the time of the shooting. Police have not arrested a suspect yet, but describe him as a white male with a handgun. Not many Gen Zers will be going home for the holidays this year. A recent poll by Credit Karma found that 32% of people ages 18 to 26 can't afford traveling and their student loan payments simultaneously. The survey showed that after student loans resumed on October 30th, 1 in 4 borrowers say their payments are making holidays unaffordable. The poll showed that some of the respondents going home will be receiving help from their families to do so, while others are planning taking on credit card debt to travel during the season. Analysts recommend using your card rewards to travel if possible, or gather with other family members in your area. New polls find few Americans believe a cherished American value is still a dream within their reach. A poll from the Wall Street Journal and the National Opinion Research Council says only 36% of Americans now think the American dream lives. 10 years ago, in the same poll, 53% of Americans said it was still achievable. One factor is inflation, with overall prices up more than 17% since the crisis began. A similar Mass Mutual poll has 42% saying their American dream is now gone. Financial security in that poll was the top factor. Still ahead, students are getting ahead by learning how to fly drones.
Happy Sunday, everyone. The winds have finally backed off across the 4-state area. It was really chilly across the region due to the winds today. Speaking of those winds, let's look at the peak winds we saw across the region. Joplin got up to 25 miles per hour, so did Monet. Grove 23, Yates Center 24. Yes, of course, this isn't as strong as what we could typically expect in our severe weather season, but when we have these breezy winds, especially mixed with those cold temperatures, it could feel downright brutal out there. And across the region for most of the day, it felt like it was in the 20s. So very cold, at least it felt pretty cold across the region today. What can we expect over the next several hours? hours, those winds will stay light overnight tonight. So good news if you're getting up real early tomorrow morning. The air temperatures will be cold though, so you're going to want to have the hats, gloves, and scarves. Protect any exposed skin because tomorrow we'll have breezy winds once again. Now they won't be as bad. This is lunchtime tomorrow, and you could see anywhere from 15-20 miles per hour blowing from the west. So a little bit of a wind shift change, which will be nice. Not as cold as those northerly winds we've been experiencing. For your rest of your evening on Monday, you could expect those winds to drop down once again. And then by Tuesday morning, they should be overall light. And overall on Tuesday, I'm expecting lighter winds from the past 2 days. So good news there. As far as temperatures go, it is going to be cold out there. Rain chances, we're not expecting anything actually for the next several days. We do expect those temperatures to increase though, which will be a good sight in our forecast. This is the feels like temperatures, and as you can see tomorrow morning, even though the winds aren't going to be blowing that strong by that time, temperatures will feel like they'll be in the low 20s, even teens for places like Iola, Yates Center, Fredonia, and Chanute. Definitely going to be chilly out there. 4 o'clock, if you're taking the kids home from school, look at this, temperatures still feeling like the 20s. Now, we could be a little bit warmer than that. The air temperature certainly will, but mixed with those winds, it's going to feel quite chilly out there. This is Tuesday morning, temperatures still feeling like the 20s, so we're not going to get out of it by much for the next couple days. However, we can expect our temperatures to actually increase, and I do expect the winds to decrease by our Tuesday. So tomorrow you could expect another breezy day. It is going to be chilly out there. Wind chills going to feel like the 20s, but we will have a warming trend, as you can see, all the way through Wednesday of this upcoming week. Another chance of rain by Thursday through the weekend, and then looking way ahead, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 2 weeks from now, looking a whole lot better. Temperatures back in the 60s.
Coming up in sports, an Oklahoma Sooners coach accepts a new job in the SEC. Plus, the Kansas City Chiefs look to hit the jackpot in Vegas. Brock Baldridge has the highlights and more.
The Kansas City Chiefs have lost 2 of their last 3 games entering this Sunday. Kansas City had short rest after their Monday night loss to the Eagles, and now the Chiefs have to hit the road against a very familiar division rival. Kansas City and Vegas taking on the black and silver. Start things off in the first quarter. The quarterback Aiden O'Connell goes over to Jacoby Myers. That will be a touchdown. Raiders up early 7-0. So we head to the second quarter now, same score. We're going to hand this one off to Josh Jacobs, and he gets through the defense there, and he is gone. There he goes, 63 yards for the touchdown. The Raiders now have a 14-0 lead. So under a minute left to play in the first half, Chiefs still trail 14-7. Patrick Mahomes finds Justin Watson in the end zone for the touchdown. Game is now tied up at 14 apiece. So we head to the third quarter now. We're still tied up. Chiefs hand this one off to Isaiah Pacheco from 1 yard out. He is in. Chiefs take their first lead of the day. It's now 21-14 Kansas City. So in the fourth quarter now, Chiefs lead 21-17. Mahomes to Rashee Rice. He will stay in bounds, and then he will cut back and score the touchdown. And that one really puts this game on ice. The Chiefs bounce back as they beat the Raiders 31-17.
Congratulations to the team for we went down 14 points. It's a tough thing to come back on that, but our guys battled back, and I'm proud of them for that. Defensively, we ended up shutting them down for 3 points at the in the second half, and offensively we were able to get some points on the board. So those are all positives.
Yeah, I mean, you said the bounce back. I mean, when you have a short week and you're playing a team like the Raiders, who always plays you tough, you have to bounce right back. You wash it, you learn from it, and then you kind of just go back to the fundamentals and working. And so we still have stuff to learn from this game. I mean, there were certain situations where we didn't execute at a high enough level, but we obviously took a step in the positive direction. Now let's just continue to do that throughout the rest of the season.
Other NFL action in the AFC West this Sunday. Hey, there's Peyton Manning. Browns versus Broncos. Denver has quietly won 4 straight games now. So in the first quarter, Denver leads 7-0. Russell Wilson with a fake handoff leaps into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 14-0 Denver. So we head to the third quarter now. Denver leads 14-6. Dorian Thompson-Robinson bootleg to his tight end Harrison Bryant. He will score for Cleveland. Browns still trail 14-12. So we head to the fourth quarter. Denver still leads 17-12. Russell Wilson trying to buy some time. Then he will find his tight end Adam Troutman for the touchdown. Originally this was ruled incomplete, but Denver does challenge the play, and after replay review, this call on the field is overturned. And well, as John Madden used to say, one knee equals 2 feet. Denver goes on to beat Cleveland 29-12. Well, the college football season has officially ended for both of our local schools. So after Saturday, meanwhile, both of our basketball teams were still in action over the weekend. Pitt stay at home against William Jewell on Saturday. The Gorillas lose a tough one to the Cardinals, 85-72, your final score there. However, the freshman Jordan Frison scores 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. And then the big man, Tanae Prickner, 13 points in that game. So the Missouri Southern Lions were also at home on Saturday. Lions are hosting the Rockhurst Hawks. Missouri Southern loses this one 75-57. Avery Taggart had 15 points for the Lions. Southern looks to bounce back next Thursday, opening up MIAA play on the road against Northwest Missouri State. So over to the women's side now. Missouri Southern in Central Texas for the Rambell Thanksgiving Classic. The Lions bounce back nicely and pick up a 90-49 win. Chrislyn Jones led the way at 23 points, and then redshirt freshman Ryan Franklin has 16 points of her own for MSSU. Well, some college football news here. Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby is leaving Brent Venables' staff at Oklahoma to become the new head coach at Mississippi State University. Lebby originally came over from Ole Miss after the Lincoln Riley departure. So at 39 years old, that makes Lebby the youngest head coach currently in the SEC Conference. I know it was great to see the Chiefs bounce back today, and with Denver winning 5 games in a row now, that was kind of a big win for the Chiefs quietly.
Quietly, of course, but who would have thought back in September that the Broncos would
win this many games in a row? And yeah, I know, crazy, but NFL, that's why they always say, every Sunday, can't take anything for granted.
Right, any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, that's right, yeah.
Well, thanks, Brock. We'll be right back with more news. Students at a Philadelphia high school are making money, getting course credit, and keeping their school safe, all while learning how to fly drones. Fox's Cheyenne Curran has more.
This is a really unique experience for these students because not only are they learning how to fly drones, but they're also getting course credit, making money, and helping keep their school safe.
I did this last year, and the experience has honestly been great. Learning to fly, learning about the airspace, I ain't know about none of that stuff.
Well, now he knows all about it, thanks to the Office of School Safety's Drone Patrol program. It's part of Philadelphia School District's 21st Century Schools model that provides students with experience for future career opportunities. But it all began as a way to monitor after-school dismissal.
At the Office of School Safety, supporting the safety of our schools and our students is our #1 mission. But aside from that, we try to really give the students alternatives to challenging behaviors.
Students enrolled in the program at Bartram High School also receive course credits for the Aviation Law and FAA Regs class. Bartram alum Michael Johnson helped the district get the program off the ground and now teaches the course.
They can go to work anywhere within the drone industry. That's like getting the key to the car, and the car will take you anywhere you want to go.
Drone going up. Students who elect for the course also can gain paid internship experience, earning as much as $35 an hour. Muhammad Ahmed took advantage of the opportunity and spent last summer teaching younger students.
When you starting in the real world and starting working, everything is hands-on. So if I just get practice on it early like this, it's gonna be easier for me later.
Roosevelt and Muhammad also deploy the drones during dismissal and at large school events to keep an eye out from above. Roosevelt received his FAA certification from the course, along with many other students who leave Bartram as a licensed commercial drone pilot. Next, he plans to go to college for aviation flight and engineering, then going to the military.
I'm just glad I didn't give up and I just kept going.
Now, the school district also is in the process of expanding this program by buying even more drones and also training more of those pilots so that they're able to monitor even more large events.
Up next, early estimates for the top 5 films from this weekend. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. A Disney animated musical and a Ridley Scott historical drama challenged the champ at the weekend box office. But who came out on top? David Daniel has our early estimates for the top 5 films from Friday through Sunday.
I used to love this town.
The holiday horror film Thanksgiving took 5th place, carving up $7.2 million. Trolls Band Together fell to 4th place in its second weekend out, grossing $17.5 million. Wish opened with $19.5 million. Not great for a film with a $200 million production budget.
General, we are discovered. Good.
Joaquin Phoenix reteamed with his Gladiator director Ridley Scott for Napoleon, which made $20.4 million to debut number 2.
Friend.
A second straight weekend win for The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The prequel earned $28.8 million for a 10-day domestic total of $98 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of otters enjoying a Thanksgiving feast. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night.